Hello. Today I've got lots of little bits to organise around the house, so I'm going to use this as an opportunity to cover a few points from my last video. If you watch that, you'll know that the most important thing for an organisational system is how simple it is. So I'm going to show you how quick it can be to understand my favourite systems. Indeed, it is so important that you pick systems that allow you to achieve the maximum customization with the minimum number of parts. I'll show you how, with only 3 or 4 parts per system, you can achieve tens of thousands of custom parts for everything in your home. This is what good organization looks like. These systems aren't designed to say, here's 10,000 parts, go and stumble around and find what you need. Instead, they maximize reuse, minimize confusion, and just let you get on with your life. Everything in this video is free. Free as in cost, and free as in remix however you fancy and working with the community. You'll obviously need a 3D printer and some filament. Oh, you're the last person who doesn't have a 3D printer. Did you not listen last time? Or maybe you're that person who only has one at the moment. Yes, I'm coming for you. So let's get cracking. This is a high-speed guide to home organisation with a high-speed printer and a high-speed dash around my home to fix some little niggles. I'm going to cover the basics of each system in 60 seconds or less, probably. And then I'll add in a few bonus tips for each system so that you can go beyond that bare minimum if you want. It's just speed dating, but with bins. So let's fire up my little buddy and get printing. I'll cover the SOVOL ZERO in the future, but he fits into this video really well. It's open source and very, very fast. So let's go. Gridfinity. You just need 2 things. The first is a Gridfinity grid. Just print and plonk these in a drawer or on a horizontal surface. Choose whatever size fits your printer and your space. The second thing you need is some containers to put on this grid to store your items. These are called Gridfinity bins, and there are customizers out there that let you produce thousands of different sizes, styles, add labels, scoop bases and more. So use this to create the size and shape that you need. Then just pop it onto the grid. You now can produce thousands of different Gridfinity parts for around your home. And look, there's time to spare. So here are some extra Gridfinity top tips now that you have the basics. I like to use basic box-shaped Gridfinity bins as much as possible because they're so versatile. You can reuse them for so many purposes. But if you really want to have that custom moulded fit like I've done with these nozzles, go onto MakerWorld and search for the item that you want to organise, and someone has probably made it for you already. If not, you can create a custom bin for whatever your weird shape is using a photo. The downside is that these are only good for one purpose. But there's hundreds and thousands of different options out there, so if you need it, someone has almost certainly done it. openGrid. I'm going to focus here on its use as a wall organiser. To do this well, you need 5 things. The first is the openGrid tile. Just pick the full style. Print as many as you need and screw them onto the wall. You're done. Now you need a way to put items onto the openGrid. There are 2 key ways to do that. Firstly, multi-connect snaps. These let you slot items on and off the openGrid. Secondly, snaps, which let you click items onto the grid. These are often part of the model itself. And that's it. An enormous world of options now opens up with these foundational pieces. Then I use 3 things to organise 90% of my items on the wall. Gridfinity shelves. These click on super easily and open up the entire world of Gridfinity to your wall. Hooks. These are super versatile and I use them for all sorts of things. Finally, I use BJD's Customizer, which lets you create thousands and thousands of custom mounts for everything you could imagine. This is openGrid. All you need to cover 95% of all your use cases. Again, for a bit more, here are my bonus tips. To improve the aesthetics, hide the screws on the wall with some caps. You can even paint the top surface to help blend it into the wall. To help align your openGrid boards, you can use these connectors to hold them straight. If you want to manage cables, use Underware and just click these into the openGrid. Jump to the Underware section to find out more. Neogrid. You need 4 things for this. First is the openGrid tiles. Fill your horizontal surface, such as a drawer, with openGrid tiles. Now for your dividers. Cut lengths of 3mm plywood or just 3D print them. You can always put lengths together to create bigger compartments. The height depends on the internal height of your drawer. You now need a way for the dividers to stand up. For this you need the 3rd and 4th things. Just 3D print a bunch of Neogrid X pieces, the top and the bottom. To put it all together, click the X bottom pieces into the openGrid. Slide your dividers in to create compartments and finish with the top pieces. Now for the bonus tips. How do you cut the dividers? Well, you can use a saw if you want, but I use a laser cutter for speed and accuracy. The choice of champions is the Bamboo Lab H2D laser, the X-Tool M1 Ultra or the X-Tool P2. Links are all in the description. Use the openGrid tabs to fix the openGrid tiles together and stop them sliding around in the drawer. You can use materials other than 3mm ply if you wish. For example, acrylic or even UPVC window boards. It's up to you. Use the customizer and print a single X piece as a test before you start. You don't want it to be loose and baggy. Make sure you have a nice tight fit and adjust the thickness if necessary. And once you're happy, you can print out the rest. For improved aesthetics, you can use other shaped pieces, not just the X piece, such as L, I, T shapes and more. It can be useful to have Gridfinity next to Neogrid, like when you need to store large tools next to smaller accessories. For this, print out openGrid to Gridfinity adapters. It is possible for Neogrid to work with Gridfinity rather than the openGrid bases, so use the customizer if you want to do this. However, the benefits of openGrid are its tight grip, and there is less space wasted due to its smaller size. But if you do decide to use Gridfinity bases, I would recommend going with the grippier variety, such as ClickBase. You don't have to use a Gridfinity or openGrid base at all if you don't want to. Neogrid will work without a grid. To do this, don't print out the bottom pieces, just use the top pieces on both the top and bottom. French cleats are the easiest of all. You just need 2 things. The first is the French cleat. To make one, just cut a 45-degree bevel on some plywood and screw to the wall. Then flip it upside down and screw the other side to your container. You can now slide one onto the other. They're so strong, you can hang kitchen cabinets on these. A few bonus tips. If you prefer 3D printing to woodwork, you can print out French cleats and screw these on instead. If you have a garage or workshop wall covered in French cleats and need to store smaller parts next to big parts, just use Frenchfinity, and this will allow you to use Gridfinity bins on your French cleated walls. Let's talk about underwear. You only need 2 things to manage your cables. The first is openGrid. Screw the openGrid tiles under your desk. Hold your cables in place with an eyepiece that you can click directly into openGrid. These are the basics. Now for the bonus tips. Use the underwear generator to create different lengths, widths, heights and shapes of underwear. This helps you route your cables however you wish. You can print transparent underwear using PETG and use it to house LEDs under your desk, on the wall, in cupboards, on your spaceship or wherever you have openGrid. So there you go. No need for a 2-hour deep dive. These organisational systems are nice and simple to pick up. In fact, I have used very little beyond these parts myself. But there are, of course, many bespoke parts available to expand their capabilities even more if you have your own weird use case. Okay, you now have everything you need to get going. I have built a whole section on my website with all of this information and more, so feel free to take a look if you want to know all the latest and greatest systems to help you bring order to your homes. And if you're interested in the SOVOL, I'll add a link to this in the description. It's great to see these open source options on the market as a choice. And thank you to the awesome designers who've built these organisational systems. But one thing I do need to properly cover in a way that requires some music, an outfit change and dimming of the lights. Yes, it's time to talk about my elegoo filament. I always feel guilty as they're such an unsung hero of my videos. Almost everything that you see is elegoo. You just can't see the brand. But goodness, I have bought hundreds of reels over the years and it is my absolute favourite. They won't tell me their secret formula, even though I keep bugging them about it. But there's just something about it and I will find out eventually. But we have a lovin' in my Discord about their filament every now and then. If you haven't used it, then you are clinically mad. Basically, it's the core of my organisational world. Super cost effective, super high quality. It's just everything you need. So it allows you to get more printed. They're also one of the brands that just seems to get colours. They have some of the best shades and tones that I've seen. Just lovely house-ready colours. So if your other half is concerned about the tacky look of your 3D prints, then why not try a nice matte pastel tone and just watch them be convinced. So click the link below right now. Like, I'm waiting. Seriously, this video is not moving on until you do. Okay, now we can move on. Right, just a couple of questions that I got from the last video that I'll quickly address here. What should I do if I have already covered my wall in an old system like multi-board, honeycomb, or the rest? Well, my answer is keep using them where you've already got it. Don't just replace it all and start again. Just use openGrid on any new areas that you haven't yet tackled. The beauty of openGrid is that you can get adapters. So if you want to move, say, your multi-board organisers to your openGrid wall in future, well, you can just do that without reprinting. Second question. Can you buy my book, Gridlocked, from the previous video? Well, sadly, no. It's not on the shelves yet. Well, because it's a figment of my imagination, meant as some dry humour. But it'd be hilarious to write a book one day on this topic. I can see the highbrow book review now. I was originally drawn to write this book to tackle the evident paradox, wherein the apparatus designed to migrate disorder recursively engenders taxonomic acceleration, illuminates a deeper ontopolitical tension between agency and excess. On second thoughts, I don't think I'll ever make it as an author. Happy organising and hwyl fawr pawb.